already know right now the hot take is that the Celtics and the Lakers and the Celtics are supposed to be the finals matchup this year.
Well,
that's been the whole script leak. That's been the whole.
Hey, bro, did you see
right
that ad though? Did you see that
with
ad?
Larry Bird and Magic Johnson?
Yeah, and they're like, two are fighting and one will get it, and it's like, what are you luring to, huh?
Yeah, he talks about he's like something about pain and like celebration or something like that. Is that what Magic says? He's like, and I know both of them.
And they're like touching their rings that they got in, and you're like,
yeah, like that for me is where it confirmed it to me. I was like, that's a little sus,
both
bro.
teams got 17, and it's like, who's gonna get the next one and claim that they have the most NBA titles?
Yeah.
In all the NBA.
You know what I'm saying? And it's interesting to me how it's also like the same 4 teams from the bubble.
Right, made it again.
Made it again. So it's like I like how Alex Caruso put that in on Twitter. He was like, the bubble doesn't count in quotation marks and whatnot. Because a lot of people were trying to give the Lakers that. I mean, we've even had discussions on this podcast about how if it was an easier road to the championship, I've always been of the mindset that everybody was on the same playing field. Everybody had that rest. LeBron and AD were just, or more than anything, LeBron was on that mentality. It was like,
I think people always look at they always look at the aspect of not having home court advantage, and that's why they think it was easier. But at the same time, it's like mentally, you had to be in a hotel, you had to
be away from family,
in a
hard ass time,
and keep yourself kind of focused in order to even win a chip.
And LeBron had that focus.
They don't look at the difficulty. Like, of the other factors of what it meant to be in the bubble. The fact that NBA players even say that they would never do that again tells you how difficult and how mentally straining it was in order to go through that.
No doubt.
So when you put that together, you're like, no, it was difficult. I mean, yeah, not having a crowd, of course, it's an element, and you want to have that crowd because some players feed off of that crowd. Some players get intimidated by the crowd, so obviously, like you want the crowd, but I mean, I don't look at it as, and it might sound biased just because I am a Laker fan, but I don't look at it as a less than,
Not at all.
I look at it as like it was a difficult, like yes, it was in a bubble, but it was a difficult championship to get.
Yeah, well, no doubt, and I think that at the end all be all, like I said, you're just the way you alluded it, the mentality, and every time I heard stuff about LeBron, he was having that mentality, like, to stay ready. This season's coming back. It's not gonna just end like that. And this guy has a sense of urgency because right now he's in year 20. Yeah. That moment he was in year 18, but still you're in the last years of your career. You know that. And the simple fact is, you got to stay ready. You got to be ready because when your name gets called, when the league was gonna say, "Hey, the league is back. This is what we're gonna do." You had to be ready. And
I mean, he was ready in the sense that,
and that's when the play-in came into. That was when the play-in also was introduced.
But he was ready whether there was gonna be an actual bubble tournament or no actual bubble tournament going into the next year. The whole point is that he was just trying to stay fit for whatever came, whether it be another season.
Him and AD were bike riding, doing all this type of stuff,
Whether if it was another season or whether it was the bubble, and the bubble is what ended up happening. But it's difficult, man. It's difficult to play there, to do that. I know that, we're alluring to the Lakers Celtics, but I really would love to see another matchup of Lakers in Miami.
I'm cool with that. I'm cool with whichever happens, bro.
I would like to
give me the
again.
Celtics though because they've never been to that right now. That team as it stands, that coach as it stands. I know our coach hasn't, but Braun has been there plenty of times.
Well, our coach technically he's been an assistant coach that's been there.
Technically with the Bucks,
he just hasn't been there himself as a head coach, which is a different thing.
But besides that, the Lakers have proven through the first 2 series that they're able to, sustain this level of play for the most part, because they just went against the two of the hardest.
Here's the other thing:
backcourts. I would say.
Do we now want Rob Pelinka to stay because he did his overhaul? Because we've kind of the heat has been removed from him because of this overhaul that he did.
Well, it's his job, bro. What do you think, man? It's his job to make sure the team can play at an elite level, that his star players are surrounded with the right talent, and that's what they did. They got Russell Westbrook up out of there, and they got Vanderbilt. They got Hachimura, which was one of the first ones. They got D'Lo, Beasley. They got Mo Bamba. They eventually signed Tristan Thompson from basically just to fill out that last roster spot. And, that's his job, bro. At the end of the day, I feel like the whole experiment of getting Russell Westbrook was a LeBron thing, too. He wanted to, in a sense, prove he could do it with that third star being Russell Westbrook, but it didn't work out, In the process, we let go of the head coach, and we got Darvin Ham. Has a lot of other head coaches that have been let go as well, and we're going to get into that right now. But overall, Rob Pelinka, before this season was even kind of progressing, he already had a contract extension. Yeah. So he was already set to be there.
Because I mean, at least from like the social media standpoint, right?
Right now,
it seems like they wanted to crucify him for the lineups that he created, the players that he brought in. So
you're playing you're in the sense in his instance.
But right now, it's like all is forgiven. At the moment, it's like all is forgiven. Like, bro, we have a great team.
I mean, it's because it's the Lakers, bro. The Lakers, they demand excellence, especially when we're in this phase, bro. That's why when I hear Clipper fans be talking all this wild sense, I'm like, bro, where have y'all been at? Like, the Clippers had so many opportunities to they've had two sets of stars since LeBron has gotten here. Before LeBron got here, I mean. Mm-hmm. And those guys have not been able to perform, you know what I mean? Not being able to get those results and whatnot. So, and they've had great teams, bro. Great teams the Clippers have, and they still can't make it happen. That just goes to show that it's also
even
the mentality.
Even the current team that they have is really good, at least on paper.
The Clippers were one of those teams that didn't want to be in the bubble. Their stars, at least, Paul George and Kawhi, didn't want to be there, and it's like, and so that's the way I see it when it comes to that. With what the Lakers represent and Rob Pelinka, and now that he made a move that improved the team, and we've been undefeated since March 26th at home, that's a big thing. I mean, the fact that we've been able to do that and then go on the road and win these games that we have against Memphis, against Golden State. That's just a testament of the changes he was able to implement.
We beat the second seed, and then we beat the sixth seed. And now we got to fight the first seed.
And it just goes to show that I feel like Westbrook also wasn't clicking with Darvin Ham. As much as it looked like he was, because he was coming off the bench, he just wasn't clicking, I guess. You bring in these other guys though, and again, they're playing defense. They're hitting their shots. Like Hachimura, I've heard a lot about this, that his shot got a lot better when he came to the league, to the Lakers, because he started working with Phil Handy, and Phil Handy was like, let's improve your jump shot. It's like your release point's like the last point that they need to work on or something like that. And look at Hachimura, bro. He gets into there. His jumpers are some of the cleanest jumpers I've been seeing on the Lakers squad, bro.
Mid-range. Well, you know me. I'm a fan of Hachimura. I like the way he plays. I've always said it. Like, he gets the basics done right, and I actually like that about him. I love that he can do the basics done right. He's good on the offense. He's good on the defense. He's a great player. I really like him.
People like him are gonna play a big factor in this next series.
Oh yeah,
because we have.
Well, this next series is about size,
and
he's the same height, I believe, as Eric.
I want to say LeBron, bro. I think he's like 6'9", bro.
6'9". Eric Gordon is 6'9". LeBron is 6'9".
Yeah.
Hachimura, if I'm not mistaken, is 6'8". But then you also have KCP on that team. You have Jamal Murray on that team.
I'm not tripping. Honestly, their backcourt's the last thing I'm tripping on.
Really? So you're not worried of KCP? You're not worried of Jamal
why, bro?
Murray?
We just took
Michael Porter Jr.
Yeah, Michael Porter Jr. is also there. He's also 6'9", by the way.
I'm not tripping on him either. The size
so you're only worried.
Thing.
You're only worried about Gordon and Jokic
for the most part. And then all these other guys, they're gonna hit shots. They're gonna do things. But as being like I don't see Jamal. The reason I say this...
Hey, Jamal's spotty. If you look at his record in the last few games, he's spotty. There's games where he hits only 13 points, and there's games where he'll hit 34.
There's a reason why I say this, and I say this is because the Lakers just took care of two of the strongest backcourts in the league, and that's in John Morant and we were seeing that from Desmond Bane hitting threes and just going off on the Lakers. And then after that, you see also... Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson got basically he had a couple, I think one good game, which was the game in game 5.
Number 2. Game number 2.
Game 5 too. That was actually more Draymond going off. Mm-hmm. But besides that,
but game 2 was the one or was it game?
People thought that game 6.
No, it was game 2. Game 2 is where they won.
People thought
he was hitting everything.
People thought that in game 6 he was gonna go off, and he did. He was very subpar in my opinion. But at the same time, we took care of both of those backcourts right there. Those two teams had very deadly guards that can penetrate and that can do that. I mean, Steph Curry can penetrate for sure, but those guys can also shoot the lights out, and we saw that obviously. But the Lakers were able to combat that in game one with their free throws and going to the line and their defense and whatnot. So that's why I'm not too concerned about Jamal Murray, because we'll throw Austin Reeves at him, we'll throw Dennis Schroeder at him, we'll throw Lonnie Walker on him. You know what I mean? I don't say D'Lo because he's not the best on defense. But, you have all those guys. And if Jamal wants to penetrate, you know who's waiting for him? Anthony Davis.
Here's the thing, though. You got two bigs on that other team. You got Eric Gordon and you got Jokic. So who is the other person that's going to take care of Gordon while AD is on Jokic?
Most likely, starting the game is going to be, if Aaron Gordon starts, I mean, I see the lineup being something like, we're going to have D'Lo out there with probably, I want to say Austin Reeves maybe. And at the three spot, that's what I'm interested in, because I don't know if they're going to keep Braun there or move Braun to the 4 and then have someone else come in at the 3 and have someone like, I don't know, Lonnie Walker start. And then that be that kind of thing where they're hitting it a lot they have a lot of guards to penetrate, but they also have AD to. And that's the thing about AD, though. I'm going to tell you this. Most of the time when I see AD go up against other bigs, it makes him look like nothing, bro. He handles them like nothing. No, you know what I mean? Joel Embiid, he's made him look like nothing. Obviously, this is more in the regular season, but it's kind of like how every series has gone. As long as Anthony Davis is on game.
I mean, remember that he did do a good job in the bubble against him,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time during the bubble, he wasn't playing the 5. We had Dwight Howard playing the 5, and we had JaVale McGee. So we had that bigger size. This time around, I mean, if Mo Bamba was good, I mean, we could probably do something like that. But in this case, I don't know when Mo Bamba's coming back or if he's even coming back at all. So, because I did see him play a few minutes, I believe, in against the Warriors, if I'm not mistaken. He played a few minutes, but I haven't seen him wear his uniform again. So I don't know what's going on there, If he is available for this series, I think he would be crucial for that size. Yeah. If he is available.
Definitely. Because at this point, Anthony Davis is gonna need help down low. And I know we're gonna see Wenyen in this series a little bit more. So just don't be surprised. But I think the Lakers can still do this in 6 games. At the same time, the first 2 games, in this case, what has me concerned is the altitude.
That is a huge factor.
That's
the
what has me
Nuggets
concerned.
Play on altitude, yeah.
And the way I see it is the Lakers can maybe I think if they've done what they're doing, what their formula is to go all in game 1, then they can do it. But that's the only thing where I feel concerned about, is that if the altitude hits them and then they're like
exhausted.
You know what I mean? But I can see them kind of holding up with it for the first game, but then game 2 being the game where they're just kind of like, fuck, we're tired, So that's kind of where I'm at with it. But I think those 6 games, one or the other, they take one of those games in Denver for sure. I hope so.
Lakers in 6, huh?
I'm just noticing that the Nuggets also have Reggie Jackson.
They do. They do have Reggie Jackson, the one that was playing at the Clippers.
I'm not tripping.
And Thomas Bryant.
Not tripping.
Thomas Bryant, bro, isn't good.
Honestly though, I do see that guy going hard just because it's against his former team.
Exactly, I do see that too. But the thing is, Thomas Bryant, he looked good because
he could be an
Braun,
X factor,
bro.
He could be an X factor.
He looked good because of Braun, though. He's disappeared since
Moses
he left
Malone.
the Lakers.
Moses Malone could have seen that shit. He's gonna be like, we're gonna feed this guy. When we're on the bench, we're gonna feed this guy. He knows Wenyen Gabriel. He knows maybe not Mo Bamba, but he knows Wenyen Gabriel.
Bro,
that's one thing. Now you alluded to that. Yeah. They have Thomas Bryant. That could be an X factor in this series. I'll be honest with you.
Because he's played against them.
He was with them whole half season. He was basically gone in the Roy Hachimura trade.
But then at the same time, he hasn't played with all the new guys, so he doesn't know what they do.
Yeah. I just see him having a good game right here, so the. But yeah, I mean that's gonna be an interesting series, man. But
Go Lakers.
Yeah, definitely. What you think, Byron? How many games?
Honestly, I want to say 7. I've been saying Lakers
Seven
in 6 the
series?
last games, but
That's dangerous, bro.
it
7
is.
series matchup.
But I got. The
I think they
Lakers.
got it in 6.
Yeah. So there's been a list of coaches that have been let go.
Yep.
If we start going back with it, we can start off with the head coach from the
The Bucks.
Toronto Raptors.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Nick Nurse, he got let go.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Budenholzer from the Bucks just got let go.
Correct.
Monty Williams just got let go. Frank Vogel had got let go a year ago. Who else? The guy from the Utah Jazz, Dan Snyder, I think, or something. Not that Dan Snyder, my bad. Something Snyder. Let me look that up.
Yeah, no, those coaches have been let go, and it's crazy how like that quick. You know,
Yep.
the one for me, I think that's the craziest is the one for the Bucks, because I'm like, man, why do you guys letting them go? You know, that quick? Like, yeah, they got eliminated in the first round, but it's like your best superstar
Quinn
guy.
Snyder is the one that
your
got
superstar got injured.
Quinn Snyder
know?
was the one that got fired from the Jazz.
So
And like they lost Donovan Mitchell, bro.
yes, the Utah Jazz lost Donovan Mitchell, which was their star. So that one kind of makes sense, you know. But with the Bucks guy, it's kind of like, yo, you got to give this guy a chance. Your superstar got injured, you know, and it's like, and the team couldn't perform the same without him. The team is built around Giannis, you know. So yeah, that's one that was kind of like, eesh, like that was a little bad. But Monty Williams was also let go. But I think you had an opinion on that, on like why you think that happened.
I think that it was mainly because he had a lot of stars come in there, man. I mean, I know Chris Paul is injury prone and all that stuff, but they lost against the Bucks in the finals. After that, you get KD this season, and then you go out in 7 games, I think it was, against the Nuggets. So I think all those details right there.
No, Game 6, if I'm not mistaken.
Let me check that
They
out.
went out
6
Game
games.
6.
Okay, cool.
Not 7.
So you have all those factors right there that it's just like, I feel like at some point you need to look at a different. You have to look at what's going different. Are you gonna trade Devin Booker? Are you gonna maybe you would trade Ayton, but are you gonna trade Devin Booker?
Well, that's what was gonna happen, because I heard that Aiden wasn't having a good relationship with him, and I
or
think
maybe
that's
he stays now, and then they go for another
I think
coach.
now he stays because the different
And
coach
maybe
might
they
there.
get like a Mike Budenholzer, or they get. I know they even said that. I think that he was considered for the Bucks job, which was
Here's the other
what's his
thing.
name? What's his name? The one that's for ESPN, the
Which one?
Mark Jackson. That he was.
Oh, Mark Jackson to the Bucks. They're
You know
saying
what I mean?
that.
So he's
and then I even heard
he could even go over there.
I even
bro.
heard that they were I forgot for what team, JJ Redick too, that he was interviewing.
JJ Redick,
for
so
another
like
team.
all these potential new coaches coming in. I mean, it happens. Frank Vogel, I don't think he got another coaching job afterwards. Nick Nurse hasn't got no coaching job yet. So that's just kind of the way it goes, you know. It's kind of like, what have you done for me lately type of thing.
What do you think of did Jason Kidd still there, or did he let go?
He's still with the Mavs.
You think he stays still?
Think so.
Oh, okay.
I think so. Especially the way they decided to just say like, oh screw it, we're just gonna call it and just keep going, not go play in not play in the play-in and all that stuff.
Going back to the Suns, though, the Suns lost a lot of their bench. Do you think that that's the reason that they couldn't keep up?
I mean, at the end
because
of the day,
they gave up a lot of
at
really
the end
good
of the day,
players.
I would need to see how things work out, bro. Like in the sense of this.
Well, I mean, you saw those players go to Brooklyn Nets, and they did fine.
Obviously,
in the
the
Brooklyn
owner of
Nets.
the team has final say of what happens. You know what I mean? But at the same time, you've hired your coach and you've hired your general manager. You know.
But at the same time,
I wonder if he goes to his, like, let's say as the owner, he goes to his general manager, his coach, like, hey, is this gonna be beneficial to the team, or is it gonna, you know what I mean? So I wonder if Monty Williams was one that was pushing for it, you know what I mean? All those type of things as well, you know. But at the same time, you do have Kevin Durant and Devin Booker on your squad, bro.
Yeah, but then you don't have a bench. I mean, you got to remember this is a team that made the finals in 2021 because they had that bench.
Mm-hmm.
And now you give up that bench, to get a big shooter like KD, but KD hasn't been the same since he got injured.
True.
So you can't expect him to do things that he was doing prior to that injury.
Very true.
So that's why I'm like, well, do you know, like when you look at it, was it really worth sacrificing all your bench for that? Because now to get a bench is going to be very difficult for them.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. So I think that those are the dynamics for them going forward. Who's their next head coach?
Or
Who
here's the
knows,
other
bro?
thing. Do
Maybe
you
Mark
trade
Jackson.
Chris Paul right now, you know?
Well, Chris Paul, I think, is a free agent at the end of the season. That's another thing I'll tell you about Rob Pelinka. It all depends on what he does after this offseason, too. Does he go ahead and keep this core team how it is? Which I think,
the
for
thing
the most
is,
part, you should.
D'Lo's going to be a free agent. I don't see the Lakers re-signing him.
I do see him signing him, actually.
Really?
Yes, bro. Definitely.
Interesting.
I do see him resigning him because they're not going to sign him to a max deal, bro. He's not getting a max deal anywhere, bro.
I don't know, man.
Austin Reeves is getting re-signed. D'Lo can get re-signed for like 2 years.
I know Austin Reeves is going to get re-signed, but I don't see D'Lo.
I see a good amount of these players. The ones that I see falling out right now are Beasley, Wenyen Gabriel, and Mo Bamba. Those are the guys that are for sure down and out. But I see Lakers keeping around.
Tony Brown Jr.
Who?
Tony
Brown?
Jr.
Don't know about that guy. Maybe just to
Number
fill out.
seven?
Maybe it depends on the deal that he's offered or whatever.
Rui's probably going to stay as
Rui,
well.
I see Rui staying. I see Austin Reeves staying. I see D'Lo staying. I see Lonnie Walker staying. Those are the guys that I see.
Here's
staying
the
right
reason
there.
I say that D'Lo maybe not is because you got to remember that Kyrie Irving is also a free
They're not
agent.
going for Kyrie Irving, bro. I
You doubt
highly
it?
doubt they're going for Kyrie. There's no point in going for Kyrie Irving, bro. If you're making it, if you saw that just adding D'Lo and these other players through this is helping you out, why would you go after and have to like put a lot of your cap space into Kyrie possibly? There's no point in there. D'Lo can handle that, bro. And he's not handling that load by himself too. The thing is though, what I will tell you, who probably won't come back is Dennis Schroeder. Dennis Schroeder's gonna go get a contract somewhere for sure.
Oh, because that's what he wanted. He's been wanting a contract.
So he can, and I don't know if the Lakers are going to give it to him because the Lakers' big contract right now going forward, I see going to Austin
Reeves, yeah.
Not even a big contract. It's just he's going to get a big chunk of money.
Yeah.
He's getting like 60, 70 mil over this, 3-4 years or something
I mean,
like that.
hey, he fumbled the bag. He could have had the contract.
Back
He
then.
decided to say no to us.
So
that's on him on that one.
so I see that going down. So those spots are going to be open. And then I've seen things about them getting Chris Paul, Draymond Green. I don't know.
Draymond is a possibility
I
just
think-
because how close he is to LeBron. But
yeah, but Chris Paul
he's-
is too. I'd rather not go so old like that. I'd rather go unless he comes on like on a veteran minimum. But I'd rather get a couple more younger dudes, especially the guys that can go down low with AD, and support that part of the offense and the defense and just the team in general because that's where we need it, man. Like we have a plethora of guards and whatnot, that are able to do that stuff. We just need now the size and down low. Kind of like how we had with JaVale McGee and Dwight Howard.
Mm-hmm.
You got to find those guys out there that
That's
can
why,
still
I
have
mean, it's
potential
still
in there.
possible for them to keep Mo Bamba. I mean, a healthy Mo Bamba isn't a bad player to have
Yeah,
as
not
a
at all.
backup for AD. Wenyen Gabriel, like you said, I do see him leaving. I don't see him staying. But it is possible for Mo Bamba to stay. I think on that one it's possible.
Yeah, so that's kind of the what I see there.
Switching gears, though, how would you feel if you just played against a team, right? You lost against this team, and then this team won the league and then started celebrating in your stadium, and for them, it's an away game. How would you feel about that?
Should have won that game. Not let that be a deciding factor. I'm going to the locker room, going home, bro.
As a fan, if you're watching this, how would you feel about that?
Again, bro, you gotta take care of stuff, bro. Can't tell you
The reason I asked this question.
Can't tell you how many times it's happened, bro. Where you see your team lose at home and whatnot, and like, I'll be more mad at my team, bro, because I can see in areas where they fucked up, like, you know what I mean. For example, like, you know what I mean. Now that they're doing disrespectful stuff, that's different. But I mean, especially if it's the end of the season, like, it makes sense that this team is gonna like celebrate and whatnot, and they just clinched it, you know what I mean, type of thing. So
The reason I say that is because this weekend, Barcelona had a game against Espanyol, and Espanyol basically lost to them 4-2. So after the game was over, since both teams are from Barcelona, basically Barcelona FC decided to celebrate on the pitch. They started to hug each other and dance around and be very happy about that they just won the league because that game decided that they won the league. But fans of Espanyol were so frustrated and angry because their team had just lost 4-2 and they were seeing Barcelona FC just celebrate on the pitch that they decided to run into the pitch and chase the players out.
That's funny.
And then there was footage
That's
of Barcelona.
that's being a bitter loser, bro.
Barcelona players running down the tunnel.
That's being a bitter
because
a
they
bitter
were scared
loser.
of getting hit.
That's being bitter.
Mm-hmm.
Being a bitter loser, bro. You gotta take your L. And if it went down in your home, bro, you should have taken care of business, bro. You know what was at stake that game. There's still more games in the league left, right?
Correct.
So they could have won that game or at least tied it, and it would have put Barcelona to, oh, you got to go do it next week. And maybe they're at home at the Camp Nou next week. Espanyol fucked up, bro. I'm sorry, y'all. Don't be mad. Y'all fucked up. Sorry. I'm not saying this is because I'm a Barcelona fan. I'm saying this just because you need to take care of business. Like, bro, I on Friday, bro, I'm still keeping on the same topic, but on Friday, if the Lakers would have lost at home, bro, you have no idea how pissed off I would have been, bro. They would have lost at home. At them, not at the Warriors. At them, because it's like, bro, you're at home, you have the momentum, you have the home court advantage. If you lose this game, like, trust me, bro. Like, the Lord knew my heart, bro. 'Cause I was serving him that day. He was like, you know what? Lakers gonna win today. Making this thing
Bringing
happen.
the Lord into the game. That's
bro.
interesting.
Yeah, bro.
But yeah, I mean,
Because I could have been like, you know what? Nah, man, I'm not gonna go to this gig.
no,
I'm gonna watch this game.
Honestly,
right, Byron? Priorities were
Right.
straight, right?
I knew the Lakers were
Right.
gonna win at home. I mean,
Like
I
Byron
had
went to
him-
the gym and still hit legs, bro.
Yeah.
And he still watched the game, bro. You know what I mean? Like, this
Yeah.
commitment, bro. Like, what I'm saying?
Mhm.
No, I'm sure.
So here's another team, right? What happened to Arsenal? I know our Arsenal fans are out there.
I'm trying
sad.
to have Kevin's brother on here.
They're feeling sad right now.
He's an Arsenal fan.
Exactly. They're feeling sad right now.
want me to give you a good podcast?
They are furious right now. They don't understand what just happened. This weekend, Arsenal lost to Brighton 3-0 and fumbled the league.
Now Man City's in first place.
Man City was already in first place, but there was still a possibility of them getting back into first, but they had to win every match. However, since they lost that match, there's no longer a possibility of them gaining first again. There's not enough games, there's not enough time in order for them to gain first again. So Man City, that spent the majority of the season in second place, is going to end up winning in first place. And I feel for Arsenal fans, you know? It's been such a long time since they won the Premier League, and now they have to watch their team fumble the bag at the
So
last
they have
minute.
won the Premier League before?
In the past, but it's been almost, like, I want to say, like, 13, 14 years, something like that. I could be wrong, but it's been a while since they won the Premier League. So that's why it was a big deal for them, you know? But Pep Guardiola always does the impossible for some reason, and he's going to win his 7th Premier League title since being in Man City.
I was seeing interesting a fact that where like they were saying this reel was saying how the guy got bored, so like 2 or 3 of his assistant coaches went to the opposing teams, and he still beat them.
Yeah, so his assistant coach was Arteta, Michael Arteta, which is the coach of Arsenal right now, and he also released like a lot. Arsenal ended up buying a lot of Man City players. So it's like he even gave up his own players to be like, yeah, you guys can take them. Like,
and I also saw he's like 7th in the like how much he spends in the league. Like
no, that's this year. That's this year.
This year? Oh,
that's
yeah?
this year.
Other
yeah,
years he spent more?
I saw that. I think he
Because
shared
I
it
saw
to
that
us.
list, yeah, and then the Manchester United was up there. Like,
Yeah, no, dude. Man City has, like, he spent a lot of money when he got there. He's kind of chilled in how many players he's bringing in now because he has a pretty settled team. But when he got there, I think in his first 2 seasons, if I'm not mistaken, he ended up spending like $2 billion, bro.
Damn.
just on players,
That's
bro.
oil money at Man City, right?
But yeah, oil money. Like that's nothing to them. Like
Black gold.
he just boom, boom, boom. Like he bought a whole back line his first season.
Starts there, bro. You gotta be
Like-
you gotta be able to defend the ball, bro. Like Loki, bro. If I was in football too, like let's say in like
He
NFL,
bought
I
he
would
bought
do the
he
same
bought he bought left back. He bought a left back, a right back, 2 center backs. Like his first season, dude. Like he didn't like he focused on that before focusing on anything else. So, I mean, yeah, bro.
Yeah, man, that's an interesting.
And
one
even
right there.
that, bro. I remember he bought 2 GKs in one season.
All I know, bro,
Yeah.
is that yesterday.
Mhm.
Las putas Chivas made las semifinales, bro.
They did, huh?
Byron was happy.
I was in
Gonna be a
my
clásico,
room, bro,
no?
sleeping, and I just heard Las Chivas won on the semifinal. And my dad was watching the game, and I was like, oh, Byron must be happy right now.
Byron was happy with Chivas made it. Hell,
Low-key.
bro.
Think they're gonna play America now.
I think so.
That's crazy.
gonna be
Chelsea
a-
fans.
That's crazy.
Chelsea fans have something to rejoice about. They got Mauricio Pochettino as their coach.
Oh yeah, I didn't know I was gonna
So-
go coach in.
Huh?
I didn't know I was gonna go coach in England.
Yeah, bro. Your last name is Pochettino, so I believe that you gotta go and coach Chelsea, bro.
Do it.
Better make 'em win.
So yeah, I mean they should be happy. I mean this
Who
year
was he coaching before?
He coached. Well, he's coached few teams, bro. He's coached Sevilla, if I'm not mistaken. He's also coached the Spurs. He's coached PSG, and then right now he's gonna coach Chelsea. I mean, the only thing that sucks for him is that he's a good coach, bro. And he's that coach that can get you there, but he's never won the silverware. Like, he gets them there, bro. Like, with Spurs, bro.
That's like Doc Rivers.
The Spurs team, bro,
Almost.
it's like the Spurs team, right?
I just
The
realized-
Spurs team was the best under him, bro. Like, they always got there, but they could never kill it.
I wonder if Doc Rivers is gonna get fired.
I think he might be. I think he
thinking
might
about
be, bro. I mean, he only has 1 silverware, but they respect him a lot in the league. I don't know.
Cause he's like that same coach, bro. He did it with the Celtics, but he gets you right there. But he's even since the Celtics, I don't think he's made it past the second round.
He's just got in one
with the
one
Celtics.
NBA championship
Go
with the
back to the
Celtics, and that's it.
But yeah, man, it's those interesting things with con el soccer.
Oh, definitely, man.
I know Gold Cup is coming up soon. It's gonna be here in LA, a couple of games. You know, I know Salvador's playing in that. Qatar is back in this again, in this Gold Cup. What do you think about that? How Qatar is gonna, for the second time, I think they're gonna be.
I mean, they're trying to grow their soccer and get their people and their players more involved. So I don't see it as a bad thing. You're also seeing them bring in more older players to play for their league. And it's so that their players that are in that league can learn from those experienced soccer players in order for them to improve. So you're seeing that as well.
It's gonna start actually in a month from tomorrow. Trinidad and Tobago versus Guadalupe. That's gonna be the first game, and then we're gonna have some other. It'll be interesting in that one. I want to see what other stuff we're.
Yeah, I mean, you also have the preseason for a lot of big clubs is coming here to the United States. Some of them you might be able to see in LA. Others you got to go somewhere else. Like if I want to go watch Man U, I have to go watch them in Vegas.
Who are they playing against? You don't know yet.
I don't know who they're playing against. They're there, but I know they're going to be in Vegas. They're not going to be in LA, which sucks. I know Real Madrid is coming to LA.
What, to the Coliseum or something, or Rose Bowl?
Probably one of those. I don't know what stadium. I just know they were coming here because one of my friends was telling me, and I was like, oh, okay, cool.
There's some preliminary games that happen on from the 16th to the 20th, and that's to fill out Group A, which has USA, Jamaica, and Nicaragua. Group C, which has Costa Rica, Panama, and Salvador. Then Group D, which has Canada, Guatemala, and Cuba. So those are the 3 ones that are waiting for like a preliminary team. The one group that's complete right now is Mexico, Haiti, Honduras, and Qatar.
Typical.
So I feel like it's gonna be a cool World Cup. I mean, cool Gold Cup. Sorry about that. There's gonna be games.
I was like, 2026? It's already here, bro?
Inglewood.
I was like, damn, bro.
SoFi Stadium has the final. All the other ones, like the closest stadium would be San Diego. I don't think they're in Vegas. Oh yeah, they are. They're playing at Allegiant Stadium.
Yeah, they use
They're using that one for the semifinals.
I know that El Salvador is gonna play also in Vegas, and they're selling it. They're selling 2 games and 1 ticket.
Right now, I'm seeing El Salvador's playing in Florida.
The USA game, because USA is also playing in Vegas.
Salvador's playing in Florida, and they're playing in New Jersey. Those are the 2 places they're playing. Also in Houston. Yep, those are the places where El Salvador's will be playing. It's gonna be interesting. Gold Cup, you know what I mean? But switching gears one more time. It's gonna be UFC, bro.
I don't know. What about it?
Ian Gary got another.
It's been very dead right now.
Got a good finish this weekend against Daniel Rodriguez. He got a head kick, and he immediately went after and called out Neil Magny, who's in the top 10. So that's his break-in fighter right there to break into the welterweight.
Let's rewind on that, bro. Let's rewind on what do you think about Gilbert Burns and Bilal?
Quick turnaround for Gilbert Burns. There's a lot of injuries for him that happened.
Never taken it, right?
During the fight, before the fight. Yeah, I don't think that. But at the same time, I see the risk that he took. But, you know, things happen in fighting, and that's the fight game. So now Bilal Muhammad is probably going to either fight for the title or...
Oh, well, that's what they said. Is
fight.
whoever won that was going to go for the title.
I don't think so. I think whoever won that is fighting Colby Covington right now. So I think that's the next fight we might see is Bilal versus Colby Covington. And I see Covington more in that fight for the most part. And then, you know, probably seeing that. But if Bilal can fight the odds and beat Covington, or they don't agree to it and he goes straight to fight, one of those guys goes straight to fight for the champion, I'd like to see Bilal versus Leon because that fight happened and then we kind of got stopped prematurely because of the eye poke. So that'd be an interesting one to see. I'm upset we didn't get to see Masvidal and Leon Edwards, but it is what it is. That's the fight game as well. Mm-hmm. You know, and now Masvidal is retired from the UFC.
What did you think of Cejudo's return?
He looked good for being off of the sport for 3 years because he stopped in 2019, so it's, you can say, almost 4 years now. So I think he looked really good. Close fight. I would have to rewatch it again to really say if I feel like he won or not. But I saw a post today of Aljamain. He's already at 170. He already, like, in 4 days of his fight or something like that.
He's only going to fight 2 more fights, correct? And then he's going
He said
up?
one more.
One more.
Just one more against Sean
O'Malley. I think
he
should abandon that one also, too, because the fight to make on that is with his best friend, with Merab.
But it's right now.
But Merab doesn't want to fight him.
Yeah, so right now what's going to happen, I think Henry...
He has to go up because then it's boring because...
I think Henry Cejudo's going to fight his friend. And
Merab?
And I think the next fight we're going to see is Cejudo versus Merab. And
he's still staying in the fighting game?
And Aljamain Sterling versus Sean O'Malley.
Really? But do you think he's staying in the fighting game?
Yes, he is.
Yeah, interesting.
He's going to get those wins. And then I think I think that Sean O'Malley beats Aljamain, so we'll eventually see, hopefully, Sean O'Malley versus Henry Cejudo, I feel.
I mean, you're seeing a length difference.
Man. I also heard today the rumor of Corey Sanhagen fighting Umar Nurmagomedov, and Umar right now is ranked number 11. Corey is number 4. So if that happens, that guy's sliding in through the back door right there. Mm-hmm. And we can see Nurmagomedov as champion in the UFC. That's his cousin.
You know which one I'm excited about, which finally is already in the books. I hope nothing happens. Is Aldana versus Amanda.
Next month. Yes.
I'm excited about that because I've been wanting Aldana to get a chance. So I'm happy that Aldana got a chance, and if she ends up beating Amanda, I mean that's another Mexican champ. And then that would be crazy because then Amanda would lose both belts. Ooh.
She still has both though.
Huh?
She still has both though.
Oh, no. I'm thinking sorry. You are right. She would lose one.
Because she beat Pena in the second time around?
Yeah, she would lose one. I was thinking about the other girl. The one that just beat, I was confusing it right now. I was the one that beat Valentina. Because she's also a Mexican champ.
Oh, yeah, but no, she's not going up in weight. Hell no.
Yeah.
No, that girl's way too small. Mm-hmm. That's not happening.
No, I was confusing the fights and the belt rankings. I was like, yeah, you're right. Yeah, I was like, it was Valentina that lost the belt.
Fight. We're also going to get Benil Dariush and Charles Oliveira in that fight.
Mm-hmm. And Charles had to drop out because of an injury.
I think
and the
that
other one.
honestly, I think that was a phony injury. I think they said that so that they can book him on this fight and make this card more stacked.
Yeah, I did feel that the Aljamain card was not good, bro. It was a pretty boring card in my opinion.
For the most part, there were some
I
cool
agree.
fights before that leading up to it, but yeah, for the most part, it was. Yeah, and then this next card, they needed Charles Oliveira on that co-main event because that card is also pretty weak, to be honest with you. The one next month, the one that's gonna be the banger is gonna be when we see International Fight Week. We already have the main and co-main: Alexander Volkanovski versus Yair Rodriguez, and Brandon Moreno versus Alexandre
But
Pantoja.
here's the thing we're not talking about. That's happening at the end of this month, bro. Michael Chandler versus Conor for Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah, the season's about to start on May
the
30th.
season's starting on.
But we
this
still don't have a
month.
date about them fighting.
We don't, but it's gonna lead up to that. That's all we know, right?
I hope so.
When the
I
season
hope so.
ends, right?
Because
they're
last
supposed to-
time that Conor fought was not fought, but last time Conor was in the Ultimate Fighter, he didn't fight Uriah Faber.
Interesting.
That's one of the many few seasons where the coaches didn't fight at the end of the season.
Interesting.
So,
But Conor also came out in bare knuckle, right? After Mike Perry won.
yeah,
And there was this whole thing of how they might face each other.
They never talked about that, and he was just saying that how he was there as a
Marketing.
fan. Yeah, and he it was more of a fan thing. It wasn't nothing like that's gonna happen. I really don't see that happen, especially right now.
And that was nasty, seeing Luke's tooth like that.
Oh hell yeah.
That looked disgusting. the
Yeah,
way he got-
Chad Mendes fought Eddie Alvarez in that fight too. Yeah, man. I mean, I think in boxing, Devin Haney's supposed to fight Lomachenko this weekend as well.
Yeah, on Saturday.
Yep. We also we did see Ryan lose versus I don't know if we spoke about that ever on this podcast.
Nah, I don't think we did.
But Ryan losing against Tank.
Tank was too fast, bro.
There's one video I saw that supposedly that Tank didn't hit him or some shit about some. I don't know. I hate to see some stuff like that sometimes, but
Nah, Tank was just too fast, bro.
yeah, Tank handled it at the end of the day.
Tank was literally going around him and showing him. He even did that little dance to spin around him
Deontay Wilder
and just showed him like, you can't keep up with me, bro. I
Deontay
can
Wilder
pivot so much.
said that he wants to see that rematch too.
I mean, it'd be interesting, but
Down the road a little bit, maybe.
I think that Ryan should have listened to Canelo. Canelo told him he wasn't ready. And he should have listened to him, because now you have a loss on your record. I mean, it is what it is. He can't change what happened. But I think he needs to get more prepared. He needs to get quicker and, see how it works out. Because honestly, what we saw, I don't know if I probably need to be corrected. I don't know if that affects it. I don't know if the rib injury affects your footwork, because what I didn't see from him was footwork, and that's the basics.
I feel like the rib injury affects a lot of shit. It affects your breathing.
I agree. I
It
agree on the
affects-
breathing,
it affects
but I don't know
your-
your footwork. If it
I
affects
feel like
your
it affects
footwork.
your movement in general, bro. Anytime you move, you're gonna feel that shit. If it's broken, bro, you're gonna feel that shit.
Because that's the thing that Ryan didn't have in that fight. He had no
I
footwork.
feel like right now you don't feel your ribs because it's so like something
But
that
it's mundane. It's mundane to breathe until it's injured.
exactly, bro.
Yeah.
And then once you start doing movements and like when you throw a punch, think about it, when you throw a punch, you're exhaling.
Yeah.
And then you're breathing in after that. Like
Yeah, now I think
you can
about
get
it.
a cramp, bro. Especially if you got hit and it was broken, bro. That cramp must have been a bitch.
No, I think about it. I've danced a couple of times, like back in the day, like merengue or salsa. I mean, merengue mainly or cumbia. What I'm trying to get at is that I felt like winded to the like tired that my rib hurt. So I kind of would in doubt, like if like that would hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Everybody's
because
different,
that's the thing that I didn't see from him is footwork. And if it was that his rib injury was preventing him from footwork, well, that would explain a lot why he couldn't move around. But if that is not the case and he just doesn't have that type of footwork, I'm like, man, you gotta up your skill, man. Like a lot of boxing is your footwork, So we'll see.
Yeah, something coming up in the UFC. One UFC fight night coming up is going to be Victoria versus Cannonier. I hope Cannonier can handle that one. Another one is going to be Josh Emmett versus Ilia Temporia. Temporia is a very interesting fighter. He's that Spanish fighter. So if he can get a good win, that's going to be cool. Your girl Amanda Ribas versus Macy Barber. That's going to be a cool little scrap. And we just spoke about this guy. Neil Magny be fighting on that card. So if he wins, obviously they'll line him up with him and Ian Gary. Be a really, really cool one. Yeah, man, that's pretty much going on for right now. I know the NFL schedule just got released not too long ago. I think this week and whatnot. Aaron Rodgers is now part of the New York Jets.
New York Jets.
You know, I saw this TikTok where it's in I think it was for the Tennessee Titans. They had this video where they go on the street and they're like, tell us who this team. We'll show you the logo of the team and will tell us who the team is. And it's like who the Titans played throughout the season, right? And the very first one is the Saints logo, and they go, the St. Louis Rams. I was fucking dying when they said that one. And then, bro, there was 2 times where the girls saw this one, and they were like, oh, the Cowboys. And it was the Colts symbol, bro. Dude, those are hilarious. There was one where it was like, I forgot what
Well,
it
that
was.
became popular in TikTok, so I mean, it makes sense that it would translate into a commercial or a little thing.
Well, it was
a reel for the team.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So it was funny in that aspect how they went through like all these teams. Like when they saw the Chargers ones, the lady was like Lightning McQueen. That shit was hilarious.
And then they see the Falcons and they're like the Red Stallions.
Yeah, the Saints are gonna be coming here to SoFi at the end of the season, huh?
Yeah, December 21.
I was seeing that, bro. That's dope.
If I take a peek out there.
Yeah,
if we take a peek.
I haven't gone to see the Broncos yet, bro. I don't know if this is gonna be the season where I go to see them.
Oh.
Luckily, I'm blessed where that they come here once a season, no matter what, because the Chargers are in the same division. So I don't know if this will be the season or next season, but
they also play. You guys got a new head coach, bro.
Yep.
Let's see how that goes.
They also play in December, so we'll see if that happens. But yeah, man.
Have a good one.
Lakers in 6.